I love this game. I'm kind of addicted to it. It's a problem.
It is very fun. And
It's super good.
And I'm so mad how close I am to 100%ing it.
Nice.
Well, not.
I don't 100% any. Even games that I have played I never even 100%ed Assassin's Creed Origins. Like, what is wrong with me?
No, I never do either. But this one like gives it's not like super 100%. It's just like, have you done all the quests?
Right.
Like, I probably won't do it for The Witcher. I never did it for
those games.
The first one of these, Breath of the Wild.
All right. So Dana and Julianne, can you hear?
Not yet.
Blood moon
Okay, hold on.
rises once again.
Maybe I should shut up.
Goodness. When I learned what blood moons did.
When I was a 10-year-old girl and learned about blood moons. Are we live?
Zing!
So.
Yes, we're live now. So you still don't hear?
That's a different type.
Oh, I hear it now. It's a
Okay,
little soft. because
perfect.
I'm a loud lady. Watch now with 5 viewers. I will. Okay.
All right. I'm going to move the clone of Julianne to that monitor so I can see here.
Yes.
All right.
I'm eating peppermint stick ice cream, and it is everything.
That sounds amazing.
So we're just going to have to ignore all of the scary icons on the screen for those of you who don't play the game. There's just a ton of stuff to do. And Julian, you're not farther than I am, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
I'm jealous. Okay.
Because I am also addicted to this
We're
game
in the
and
same
have
world.
children.
So yes, this is the same exact world map as Breath of the Wild. And in some cases,
The region is like everywhere now.
though I admit it's rare, in some cases the levels have the same maps, which is very cool.
But it's not like open world. You can run around. I mean, you can
Right.
kind of. There's still an exploration aspect to some of the level maps, but it's not like a free open thing, which it couldn't really be anyway. But just in case.
Right. All of the UI UX is designed to replicate Breath of the Wild and reuse as many assets as possible to try and make you think like it's an expansion to Breath of the Wild. And it actually does a very good job of doing that.
So they take out the exploration, but under the assumption you've played the first game and done all that.
Correct. So, for instance, well, actually, let me start here. We'll start with some story stuff, because some of these cutscenes are awesome, and we're going to be watching a couple of these. Thank you, Andrew, for wishing me a happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yes,
This opening to the
was
game.
Brian's birthday.
This
What an
opening.
eventful day.
I know, right? This cutscene, we see half of it in Breath of the Wild, which is a really smart way to introduce this new game, I thought. Oh, yes, Karen, I can add you on
It
Skype
was
now.
very like, this is a memory. Tinkly piano. Huron is here.
This is the highest the frame rate in this game. Yes.
Yes, it is.
Everything about this game is the 3 frames per second. Difficult. Very easy to move.
The frame rate is a huge problem with this game.
Here's our Fabergé egg BB-8.
Hey, I'm here now. Hello. Am I here now?
Oh, you'll be on stream very shortly.
Protect.
So there's a moment in Breath of the Wild in a flashback where Zelda regains her divine powers, and you're seeing that now from a different perspective.
Spoilers, just kidding. Hello, Doug. I should tell you, Doug, that I played a Disco Cactus video for my mother yesterday.
Nice.
Like you do.
That's awesome.
Persona 5, like, live stream clip. And she liked it. Quite a bit.
So, I want to remind everybody as we watch this intro, this is a third-party game, and the development studio was allowed to mess with the plot of the most important video game published in the last 10 years, which is absolutely outrageous.
That's trust.
It is like alternate timeline creating. And uses all the same sound assets, but with like really fun additions and rearrangements of music that we hear in Breath of the Wild.
Yes, and I think we'll jump into this first level 1 stage here. Next, now that
Do I
we've seen
get
this
to
cutscene.
Am I visible on stream?
Yeah?
Yep.
Really? It's not showing up on my end.
Here on the bottom.
Oh. Oh, look, there I am. Hi. Look at me.
Whoa!
Yay.
Wild Karen appears.
Need to make sure you all can see
So-
me eating my snack. It's
So
very important.
Twitter has been, rough lately, but I did see something that was so joyful. And you all have probably seen this because I'm like not social media-ing.
It will
But
be my
the second person basically in the world to receive the COVID vaccine, the name was William Shakespeare, and it was an 81-year-old guy in England.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a
That-
couple of weeks ago.
And the Twitter puns
That's fantastic.
were amazing.
Okay, it's Trousers of the Wild, not Pants of the Wild, but still. Cap of the Wild, Phoenix of the Wild. It's
Right, I
actually
mean-
quite a good game.
Do you have a preference for how I dress up Link, Julian?
Well, I'm always a fan of. I like
I
the
think we
Royal
should
Guard
each
outfit
pick a
a
piece
lot.
of. Like, one of
Yeah.
us picks the hat, one of us picks the armor, one of us picks the pants.
And I was so upset when I discovered these are completely cosmetic. There's no, like, fire.
Right, there's no reason to dress up Link whatsoever other than for your own edification, that's right.
So then if it doesn't do anything, you should let us each pick one.
Yes.
Okay, fine, yeah, we can goof off. Who wants what?
I picked the dark pants that are like the zombie pants.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, dark pants. There we go.
Dark pants, okay.
Okay, go
Dana,
back.
what do you want?
I think I want to pick the hat.
Okay, what hat do you want?
Go back. Stealth mask is very on brand for coronavirus.
Hey.
Apparently, Ryan is twice as loud as everyone else on stream. But that's his male privilege. That's just kind of funneled through the sound. It's just like that's what happened.
Oh my gosh.
Doug,
Such
let me
a-
know if that fixed
Did
things.
it, Ryan?
I
Who was it?
increased
Was it Ryan?
them and lowered me a little bit. I appreciate that, though, because we did not test anything before we started. So if that's better, let me know.
Well, speaking of Ryan, didn't you make Doug riff on this motive? On this
Yes,
on
I
one of
gave
the
him
Monday.
the sheet music on piano to this, which is pretty fast, actually, because it runs a whole bunch of arpeggios behind the scene the whole time, and I was like, whatever, Doug can sight read this, no problem, he'll do it. Because I'm a jerk
You're
friend.
always so mean to
Yeah.
Doug.
I know. Dana, what hat do you want? Do you want the stealth hat?
Yeah, let's stick with the stealth mask.
All right,
That seems
Karen,
very
you gotta
funny.
pick the chest armor piece then.
I gotta pick the chest armor.
She is.
All right, fancy. What else do I got? Tunic of the Wild.
That's the traditional. Then you got the Zora armor.
But
Flame Breaker. I don't know.
Or
Oh,
you
can I
got-
change mine to the That's
Oh my
like
God.
a 2-year-old. Can I change mine to the glow in the dark pants?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wear the glow in the
That's
dark.
way more fun.
pants.
Right there. Yeah. Radiant tights.
Yeah, I guess it is worse, Doug, to make you like transcribe it live. Well, I guess just figure it out live, than to be like, here's the sheet music.
All right,
Sight reading's not quite so bad.
Karen, how's this look?
Beautiful.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
And I'll notice that we'll get to what characters are playable shortly, but Impa, who is like
What?
an extremely old woman in Breath of the Wild, 100 years from now, is now
Yeah, I love her.
like in her late teens or early 20s. So you're playing as young, awesome Impa.
I just thought she was totally kick-ass and old.
All right.
Now she's kick-ass and young.
Yes, she is.
Yes, and she is, and I love playing her because she has some cool stuff that she does.
She does. Early in the game, she's extremely good, and I think that she falls off like for the post-campaign stuff.
Yeah, although her weapon, I think it's my strongest of anybody. At like 140 something at this
Oh,
point.
nice. See, for me, that's a useless character because Oliver has been like spending my rupees on people that he likes, who suck.
Nice.
Fun.
He's messed with my save files a lot over the years. He erased my Breath of the Wild complete 100% save file.
At least you'd already 100%ed it.
And he's
if
still
you
my
were really
child, right?
close, that would be worse.
Agreed, that would be worse. So here we are, in a place that did not exist in full form in Breath of the Wild. This is a stable Hyrule fountain square, which is why I started this first level, because seeing this geographically accurate but architecturally sound is very cool if you played Breath of the Wild. You'll notice that there is a map. I feel like I'm in the middle of a Civil War reenactment, actually.
And this is a battle music. This is an expansion of the battle music from Breath of the Wild.
Yes, it is.
And you can see how the frame rate is, especially on stream.
Yeah, it is. You're also very quiet.
Me?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, maybe
Apparently,
I.
game audio is very loud for them.
I figured
Yeah,
it
I
would
think
be.
it's at a good level for me.
Game audio is coming down for folks. There you go.
Right.
All right. And
That's much better.
yeah, this isn't really time sensitive per se, so I can just kind of loiter here for a minute. This is the only, like, our first time. If you played Breath of the Wild, all of this is going to feel really new, even though we know where we are. Because of two things. First, everything looks nice and pristine, the Boblikins notwithstanding. And second, because we can't climb anything, if you look at the map in the lower right, you'll notice that we're going to be funneled into various places. I can't just decide to go this way anymore. This game doesn't work that way.
Aww. That would bum me out hard. Were I not discovering it this way. Like, if I had the game and was playing it, I'd be like, man, why can't I go
What you
places?"
trade in navigation is that this version of Link could absolutely kill Breath of the Wild Link without even thinking about it. You're a god compared to how combat works.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so satisfying. Like
It
it
is,
just
it's
physically
really
feels
is.
very good.
Yes, especially Master Sword Link. If you hold down
Ugh.
the strong attack button in the middle of his combo here, you get super bonus combos, and he's the only character that does that, which makes him clearly the best. And then,
All of them are special in their own special way.
it's true. Here we go. You still get cool stuff from Breath of the Wild. It's now you just get to do that cool physics stuff combined with the sword play, and it works really well.
So you didn't really hear it there because Ryan's pretty overpowered, but once you kind of break through the Moblin's shield weak point gauge, you get an extra layer of music that
Like when
It's
you
like
hop
the-
on Yoshi.
Yes.
yes,
We will do a...
Sometimes the music like totally changes, but usually it's just like more music on top as like the kind of indicator that you have the upper hand, which Zelda has done before. I think in Wind Waker or as a Twilight Princess, the kind of upper hand music.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Let's load a different scenario where A, I won't be quite so overpowered, and B, we'll listen to a different track, because that's just a long riff on the standard Breath of the Wild fight music.
Yeah,
But-
and then you can also turn the sound effects off at some point. Just
Yeah.
have-
And each of the 20 story missions doesn't have its own unique track, but I think there's 15 different combat tracks in the game. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can't turn sound effects off individually. I haven't actually checked that.
Yeah, voice, sound effects, and
Love the
music.
cello.
Here we go. We'll turn them way down. We'll turn background music up a little bit. Okay. Very good. So let me zoom out and see what we can do here. Is
That
it this one?
is a lot of shrines. Or is that not shrines? What's the blue?
So blue things are events or quest turn-ins I have done.
Oh, okay.
The only
I was like,
playable
too
events
many.
are things with double-crossed swords are plot missions, and things
Okay.
with single swords are side quests.
Nice.
Everything else, like here's a great fairy head, right? Here's a leaf.
Right.
Those just represent material turn-ins where I have to have a certain number of materials and I turn them in for freebie bonuses.
Ah, okay.
So like if I had this, I would just hit A and it would instantly accomplish itself, but I'm short stone pebblet kills. And I have resisted repeating any mission with some great rarity so far. And I'm sure that to move onward from here, what I'm going to have to do is suck it up and just play through again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Julianne's giving me the nod. So
But it's fun, especially when you get so overpowered. You're just like, bam.
well, and we're going to stay so overpowered here for one moment here.
Julianne,
we'll
by
take
the
the
way,
characters.
did your Facebook unlock so you can see the photo?
Yes, and I loved it. Like literally hearted it, but also loved it in real life.
Well, it
Josephine's
occurred to me,
Google
like,
outfit.
I have to make sure that I'm putting her in the newborn stuff because she'll grow out of that first. So, because
Yeah.
we're also using the 0 to 3 month stuff, but that's still a little big. So, yeah, I'm trying to make sure, like,
I wish to keep
Okay.
everyone safe.
she
So,
doesn't
like,
only wear that
Look
stuff
at
once or
these
twice.
characters too. I think that you saw that Ganon is an option. A playable
So
character.
Ganon
which
is
has
unlockable as a post-game bonus character. He's not canonically
Such a-
playable or on your side or anything.
the most,
I was gonna say, are you-
right,
yeah.
like the most Ludo narrative dissonance ever is when
Yeah.
you're like playing a normal thing and you're like literally trying to fight against Ganon, but you are Ganon. And then you're, you're with your party, and I was like I was playing with Impa and Ganon, and then I was switching between them, and Impa's like, "Hey, Ganon, like your turn." It's just so funny.
I've not played with him enough to get like the interstitial combat
You should-
dialogues
it's-
between
it's
characters with
like
him. That
it.
sounds amazing. I don't like
Ganon!
playing as Ganon. I don't think he's a satisfying character.
He's not that satisfying to play with, but he's large, and that's fun.
Lived in Lanayru, at a resplendent place dubbed Zora's Domain.
So, Breath of the Wild, if you played this, and
A Zora
Zora's
princess
Domain,
with the power to heal
um,
others' wounds.
Mifa is a play on
Selected
Mifa and
divine
Solfege.
beast, Varuta.
Yes.
Also, Dorefan, which is king, is Do Re Fa, and Sidon is Si-Do or Ti-Do. And all of their musical themes use those motifs, which is very fun for us Ludomusicologists, and you'll
Who
hear
was
that.
it? Who was
Accompanied
it
by
that
Link and the rest of her party?
in our chat
Zelda
was
headed to
was that you,
Zora's
Ryan?
Domain,
That when
where
you
she
came
was
to the
brought
realization
to
of that connection, you were like really kicking yourself? Or
Yes,
was
it
that
was
you,
me.
Julianne?
It was me about
I can't
7
remember.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were just like, holy.
I realized that in Breath of the Wild, and I thought I was the only person who did. And I went online, and I was like, "I'm a brilliant," and like everyone, like on Reddit, it was like, "Hey, did everybody know about this?" And I'm like, "Okay." I thought
I want to
was
point
smart.
out one thing that I did not learn for the longest time is if you just want to goof off, you can control Terrico, the little robot, on the load screen,
Aww.
which is awesome.
Yes.
Adorable.
All right. So let's have a listen here to what's going on once combat starts after this cutscene.
Pilot the divine beast.
Hey, Dorifan. We haven't seen you in a while.
Yes.
Or we haven't seen you yet. I don't really know where we are.
Her utmost. With your permission, of course.
This will be a dangerous mission. Piloting the divine beast.
There you go, Do Re Fa.
Against
Well,
the
sort of.
darkness. And I understand that the knight who will see that darkness has not yet appeared.
That is true.
I must refuse.
Sorry, I just can't stop.
I
I love
cannot.
Nintendo. I love Nintendo so much.
But
Yeah, the Zora are the musically cool ones, and therefore they are the cool ones.
Do Re Fa. And I don't even remember that from Breath of the Wild. I knew Do Re Fa was a play on it, but I don't remember his theme. So I was glad that we had it here.
You've grown since I last saw you.
It's always creepy, even if Mifa's saying it.
I will say in Breath of the Wild, I hated when her thing would recharge and it'd be like, Mifa's grace is ready.
I love this version of her much better
Yes.
in this game.
Creature is a guardian?
Is it a baby guardian? Is this like Baby Yoda right here?
Yeah, basically.
Princess Mifa.
I'll also note that if you
Monsters
play
on
this
Ploymus Mountain,
cutscene
marching this
when
way.
you're supposed to play it, she's not wearing the blue champion's outfit, because canonically she doesn't yet have it. We're kind of out of time right now. They just load whichever 3D model I have chosen for her, because I have
Yeah.
access to both
Yeah.
The
options.
prince was here with you.
Sidon is missing.
Uh-oh. Younger brothers, they're such a pain.
I know.
Yeah, but he was such a thirst trap in the original. I remember people like having really weird feelings about him.
That's still a thing.
Watch over the domain.
Highness.
It's that smile.
I
that-
don't get it, but I mean, I get it. but
Megawatt
I'm
smile.
not
Yeah, I don't get
that.
it either. But I
So-
think
Not in that
that's
camp.
something to do with the cheesy smile.
But I
Everybody
love
has a
it.
unique ability. Link's is that he has a bow, right? He just has the bow on command. I'm going to switch to Mifa, so we can talk about Mifa's combat theme here. And let's...
Alwyn!
Mifa's theme in Breath of the Wild, which we'll listen to shortly, is super passive all the time. And now we get this big, amazing combat track for her.
Yeah, you got the intensity, but it's still that Mifa. Mifa, Mifa, Mifa. There we go. This is basically early music, Karen, right?
I see
Mifa.
what you mean about the frame rate.
Frame rate's terrible in this game. Was it Shark that was making fun of it a minute ago? It's absolutely
Yeah,
garbage.
everyone was.
And what they have done for this game's soundtrack is something akin to what got done with the Smash Brothers soundtrack, where everything kind of gets made into a combat theme as needs be. But it works so much better for me here than it does in Smash Brothers, and I'm still unpacking why that's the case.
Oops. Gosh.
I'm gonna try to weaken this Moblin without killing him. I'm just gonna hit him when he is weak point vulnerable. Oh.
Yeah, so you have extra music when you have weak point smash options.
The percussion comes in when that move is available. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that in the jukebox mode, they do have both.
Excuse me.
They have like this battle music and this battle music Apex or something, and I think that might be it. But there's still more layers. It's still a little bit more dynamic when you're actually playing. If you notice, like when you're just wandering around without actually fighting, that it's like a lower level of music, and then it adds based on if you're fighting, and then it adds based on if you're like in the middle of like a specific kind of fight.
Right.
And then even more if you're like have the upper hand. So there's a lot of stems, layers, and stuff.
I love that you're playing as the tree guy, and I can't remember his name.
Hestu is one of the hidden characters in the game.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you hit people with your maracas.
You do.
Yep. What? Maracas.
And his maracas have all the Korok seeds now, so like he can just summon all the Koroks of the forest to fight on his behalf whenever he wants.
That's his special thing, is summoning the Korok.
This is the problem with only having played the demo, is that this stuff isn't part of that. So I'm like, this is so cool.
It is definitely fun to like actually play as the different characters and get to know. Because I'm the kind of person that's like, I'll just play as Link and just like get through the game and just, you know, get comfortable with a few characters. But this game I actually really wanted to learn to play all the characters and get to know all their combos and stuff, and it was fun.
Yeah, you just start to get to that when you do the demo, because you can do Impa and
That's
like
right.
one more, I think. And I just hadn't really gotten into doing that yet.
Yeah.
Shakalaka maracas.
That's he can equip these yellow ones that look like the Korok seeds, which are just piles of poop. And those are called Shakalaka maracas. I love it so much.
I couldn't love it more. Because he says shakalaka.
He does.
Yeah, in that exact voice.
He is tied for my least favorite character in the game, though, I will say, in terms of gameplay
He's very
usefulness.
slow, first of all. Yeah.
Is he awkward to move? He seems like because he's big.
He is, yep. Being bigger means you can get hit more often in this game.
Yes.
So smaller, sneakier characters. It's like it's the Chun-Li effect, right? Like small, sneaky people who are fast tend to do better.
Yeah.
That's the problem with being small, sneaky, and slow.
Small, sneaky, and slow.
That's me.
Actually, Impa is small, sneaky, and slow in this game, and she absolutely wrecks people.
But she has that Naruto run, which I love so much.
I want to be an Impa.
We just heard the music transition ever so slightly awkwardly to the...
Yeah, it has a bit of the extra brass that comes in that case.
Yeah. Some pieces differentiate that a lot more than this one does.
Yeah.
But of course, there's one mission per champion, right? Because we have to meet Mipha. Then we have to go meet Daruk, who's the Goron up in Death Mountain. And we meet Rivali, the asshole bird. And we meet, who did I leave out?
Yep.
Urbosa,
Yep.
the Gerudo leader, who has the cool lightning snapping effect that was so overpowered in Breath of the Wild. It's also pretty good here.
That snap is very satisfying.
Better
Yeah,
than
it is.
Snap.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, by the way, like right now, this game does something cool that not a lot of other games do, which is we get this quasi like real-time strategy moment where I have to order everybody else on the field around, and then I can stay Link, and the other two will go to where they need to go, and I can then take over control for them to just fight the bosses to make sure everybody arrives where they need to be on time.
Yeah, I hadn't quite figured out how to do that in the demo, but I really liked it as a concept.
Yeah.
It works reasonably well. The catch is that when that part of the game gets hard, the game gets hard. I don't think there's a ton of super difficult combats in the game.
So what's the story behind a third-party developer getting access to all of these resources? I mean, Nintendo must have been still overseeing everything, I imagine.
Yes, Aonuma oversaw the story and the writing, which also complicates it because if he had not done that, it'd be really easy to say, well, just like the first Hyrule Warriors game, this is clearly non-canonical, right? But the first Hyrule Warriors game is not tied into any one Zelda franchise. So, like, oh my gosh, what's her name from Twilight Princess? Midna. Midna shows up comically next to, like, the Marin, the dream girl from Link's Awakening, who shows up next to people from Ocarina of Time. Like, it's very clear that they don't care about their story making sense outside of the one game. This is very meticulously written so as to work within the larger frame of Breath of the Wild. Because we know that this plot happens in Breath of the Wild. Oops, I got a flip. And we know roughly what the beats of this story are going to be, though it is filled in very interestingly in ways we will be discovering in the next 90 minutes. Whatever, die. And I don't know whether or not to accept this game as, like, canonical as far as Breath of the Wild 2 is concerned. And I think the developers have really painted themselves into a corner with their characters in Breath of the Wild that this game gets them out of. And we'll cover that shortly because we're about to finish this stage and we'll move onward. And I will make my point pretty clearly here. Let me kill this blue moblin with Hestu.
Julian, you did summon Pete.
We were just
Peter, are you
talking about
messing with
December
us?
5th.
Or is it? Yeah,
No,
is it actually?
it really is birthday too.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, that's Kate and Reba. No. Kate and Reba share a birthday, don't they?
That I don't know.
Who shares a birthday?
I'm not sure.
I thought it was
No,
Reba and
it's
Jessica Gitman.
It's Jessica Gitman and Reba share a
Yep.
birthday, so I'm always like, happy birthday, Sci-Fi Twins. That's what I called them, because they have the same birthday and they work on Sci-Fi.
Yeah, for sure.
Lots of fun Zodiacs in here.
99%.
Alright, well, we're almost to the end of this one. We have to rescue Baby Sidon.
Yeah, my daughter decided she didn't want a December birthday. She was due real close to her dad, and she was like, nope, I want my own month.
My own.
Because I'm October, and Joe is December, so she was like, I'm just going to take right in.
This is a cool story moment as well for people who played Breath of the Wild. There's a red-maned Lynel on top of this mountain that is the game's only real stealth mission. And the idea is that, I guess, Lynels are kind of quasi-immortal, just like Zora are. And this Lynel essentially takes over the mountain at this point. They rescue Sidon, then Mipha dies afterwards, right? In Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And the Lynel just
like-
kind of takes possession of the mountain.
Yeah, and then he's just like up there.
Right, and you notice he has his lightning arrows too.
Yeah.
And I hate him.
That was actually the offending Lionel that caused my breakup with Breath of the Wild the first time.
Right. Because
Yeah, I
the red-maned
remember
one
that.
will not reappear once you have all 4 divine beasts.
I remain angry about that.
You can take out your anger on him here though, because
Yeah, you can.
it's pretty satisfying to kill.
Yeah, look at this. You ride him and, like, very satisfyingly jab, and he dies.
Yeah.
I will say, though, Urbosa has the single most satisfying kill animation in the entire game. If you fight the Hinox, the giant Cyclops enemies with her, she jumps up, stabs the Scimitar of the Seven into the eyeball, grabs it, and then snaps with her other hand, and lightning channels through the sword, and it dies.
Why would you try to fight that beast
Yeah.
alone?
Why is Sidon so adorable?
Also,
Little
Baby
Prince.
Sidon.
Baby Sidon. Man, so
Or I
we have
guess
like
he-
Baby Guardian. They were paying attention to the Mandalorian, is all I'm saying.
This
What a brave
Baby
little
Sidon, I think, is in Breath of the Wild a little bit.
The smile.
Yeah, I think there's like a flashbacks and flash forwards and.
And
I'm
this
confused.
track
Yeah.
we're hearing now, the softer piano one, is Mipha's theme from Breath of the Wild. That's
Yeah.
how it's originally heard.
Still get that Mipha
Yep.
So wait, Ryan, you pronounce it Hinox, Lionel, and how do you say Bokoblin? I think we pronounce everyone differently, which is why I'm trying to...
I just say Bokoblin, rhymes with goblin, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I say that too. I thought I heard something else.
I'm a little bit more Bokoblin.
Bokoblin. Yeah, I guess I say that. Bokoblin.
Alright.
I love the victory theme.
I don't need any of this, like, low-tier garbage, though. Alright. Maracas.
Now listen to this castle theme comes in.
Yeah.
I love that. And I never played any other Hyrule Warriors. Is there just one more? The earlier one on the Wii or something?
It originally came out for Wii U and then was ported to 3DS, and it's on Switch as well. I have it, and we can boot it up for comparison's sake. It is.
Yeah, I never played that one.
It's worse in every way except that it runs at 60 frames a second.
Oh, nice.
But it does so because it's a Wii U port and everything is lower resolution, right? This this looks nicer. The gameplay here is more unified across the characters because they all have the same set of runes, even though they all use them differently. So all your button presses are kind of the same, right? Every character has variations on weak, weak, weak. When do you do the strong attack to be good? And then the runes, how do they work?
Yeah.
Yeah. The other big catharsis, though, that this game provides is happening right now. And that is, we get to pilot the divine beasts with the champions.
Fun.
And there are
That's
some
very
really
fun.
long, difficult sequences with them. We're not going to do those. We're just going to plow through some Lionels here and be on our way.
Apologies for yawning, you know.
Yes, it's terrible. It's so terrible. Some of us have no excuse, and we're yawning anyway. So.
But, you know, I'm getting some sleep. It could be a lot worse.
Right. I like the music here, too. Again, Mifa's theme, right? But a new variation. For being big and grandiose and badass.
Oh, we even get a whole tone instead of a half tone
I
there.
noticed that. Gives it a little more lift.
Ah, what's that? Beefy.
If Breath of the Wild was directed by Michael Bay.
Yeah, this game is totally
Nice.
that. Yes.
Yeah, but that implies that it's bad.
I was gonna say, don't you say this game is good generally?
Yeah. Like, Michael Bay movies are barely even fun. Some of them are fun. Like, this is at least fun.
So we're just like piloting a tank at the moment.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm experiencing it this way, because I don't know if gameplay-wise if this game would speak to me in the same way, because, like, for me, uncovering the map was a lot of the magic of Breath of the Wild. Like, I liked the
Right, there's not much
exploration.
of that here. But
Yeah,
look,
it's just
look
like
at
a
how many
fucking
enemies I'm
like
taking
it's
out every
out.
shot right now. Right?
Well, yeah,
It's also very
just
satisfying.
having, like an enemy rush, I'm like, okay. It's not making me want to rush out and buy the game.
Yes,
And this
they are
move is
fun.
just ridiculously powerful. You can't be hit during it. You can just kill everything. Whatever.
Okami
But,
has
I mean, I don't
self-care.
need any new
Good.
games anyway, because the Stardew
Ugh.
Valley update came out, so...
Which I haven't been playing, and yeah, I'm really surprised at myself that I haven't been digging into
There
that.
are so many good things in it.
I
The
haven't
new
had
island is
time.
incredible. The new map is really fun.
Yeah,
Bam!
I haven't
Yeah.
gotten to any of it. I haven't seen a thing.
I've been having quite a
Oh.
time with it.
I will get into it, but I feel like even though I have almost a month left of break, it's not. I'm so busy. It feels like I've been so busy.
Playing Okami as
So-
self-care sounds like an excellent idea, by the way, to Elizabeth Hampton.
Yeah.
You can just hold L to become invulnerable, by the way. And in one of my favorite sequences of the whole game, you just press your cannon button, and the cannon from the very end of Breath of the Wild comes out, and you kill 40 Lynels in one go here.
I know, it's so satisfying.
Look, done. I am the best.
You're just like done. And you also like can, depending on the type of what are these called? Oh my god.
Divine beasts.
Divine bees. You can destroy the countryside in different ways.
Yes.
Which I love.
3
I
of
love
the 4
just
of them are
blowing up
really
mountains.
fantastic, and there's one kind of crappy divine beast.
Wait, which one's crappy to you?
The fire one, because it has no shield. You have to grab stuff in real time instead to block.
Oh yeah, I just never do that. Yeah. But I do like stomping on things. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I think is it Rudania? No, that's the fire one, right? Naboris. Naboris is my favorite. The lightning times.
Yeah, because the
Camel,
lightning one here, you
right?
just point at what you want to die, and you click, and it dies.
I know.
Absolutely, that's
And
the
also
best.
just running into things and like running into giant bokoblin nests and just they all just explode. It's so good. I have a lot
Yes.
of anger issues. Okay.
I'm just an angry person. It's
I
true.
thought that was
you
just
know,
called the job market.
So
I
I'm going
know,
to turn
you
up the
watch
music
you
for just a
live
moment
this
here,
world. Yeah.
and let's do some listening here, because so far we've been watching me on the Overworld screen with my post-game Overworld music. But that's not really the way the game is marketed to you. You're meant to hear this one.
Andrew's asking us what ope means. I don't even know how to.
It's just like
Kind of like I bumped into you. I'm sorry, right? Ope.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, like it's oops without the S, but it's sort of also just like it's not quite an oops.
Yeah, it's not quite oops.
Let me just scoot past you real quick and grab some ranch.
Yeah.
That is one stereotype that I don't live up to. I'm not a big ranch fan.
Yeah, it's kind of like the singular form of oops, but it's also just like a
water.
it's not oops, it's not whoops. It's kind of excuse
Kind of
me.
It's just ope.
Oops.
All right. After the second time, it should come in louder here if we listen. It's very quiet right now on piano.
I think it's a very Midwestern thing, is it not?
Yes, that's how I understand it.
All right, we're getting some stuff here. But this is the original Overworld theme that just gives us that main motive slowly as we're on the map, kind of looking at a very limited subset of choices that are out there. About the time this would come in, you'd be picking your mission, but I really like this version of the main theme. The piano stuff
This
is good here.
includes the title screen into the map segment, and usually it cuts off. Usually you go right to the map segment, so it cuts off that really soft introduction pretty quickly.
And you cut right to this
Yeah,
portion,
and you
basically.
cut right to this big string beautifulness.
Right, and it's really lush and it sounds really great, and you're like, okay, and it has just enough of this nostalgic kick that when you see the whole map of Breath of the Wild unfolded all at once in front of you, you're like, yes.
True.
And we'll come to a loop point about here. Right, and then we come back down and start over.
I'm really glad they include a lot of that piano texture. It's really kind of like timbrally important to the feel of the game of Breath of the Wild, and I'm glad that they use it a lot.
Yeah. For sure. Well, the opening cutscene starts with it, right? Let's just hear the music. It should. Oh no, that's the opening of the title screen, rather. So it skips it.
Andrew, I didn't know you and I were the same age.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
About halfway through the game, the Calamity happens. Because we know that time travel's possible after, like, the little robot exists and proves it, right? We know something is going to happen with time travel. And we think, what if we just beat Ganon in advance? That'd be awesome. That does not occur. Which we'll get to. But
Yeah.
the moment the game officially tells you that's not going to be how it happens, the world map theme changes, which is very cool and pretty rare for a game like this. And I'll note that Hyrule Warriors 1 does not do this.
Ooh, Major Hope.
I'll be right.
Wait, why did Julianne leaving kill my Skype feed?
That's a great question.
Weird. Well, I'm going to let this play for a minute until the orchestra comes back in. You can tell this is a little more sinister. Yeah, I don't know why that's happened. Julianne leaving has destroyed my Skype video.
That's so weird.
Whatever, she'll be back in a minute, and presumably so will I. All we have to hang on, compared to the original theme, though, is this dun 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 in the background.
Mm-hmm.
We'll wait just a second here for it to loop, and we'll move onward. Julian's
Yeah,
back
sorry.
now.
We were talking about water intake for a second. Speaking of water intake, it took too much.
It happens.
I have to. And it puts the poop emoji over here. I would not like that feature. I just.
My students would constantly have the
Little
poop emoji
TMI.
all the time. Right. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
poop emoji, right?
Yeah.
Alright. That arrival moment that just happened, that the percussion kind of rolls forward. We don't have this big lush experience anymore. Plot stuff is happening, and now, at this point, I feel like most people will quit doing the side quests and just reach the end of the game. Oh my gosh, chat.
I know. Stop.
And
Simmer down.
I want to point out, did you guys catch the big melodic leap? Da 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 da. And it comes back down here. But that's the melodic leap that the Breath of the Wild theme ends on. Here they resolve it down.
So smart.
Ah.
And then of course it will
What's the
loop
rest of the
again.
wild theme again? It's
If me and Julian load up our save files, this is the world map you hear now. And again, we would normally like hit the world map immediately and bypass some of this softer piano music, so you gotta give it a second. Julian's right though, keeping the piano is a really important part of linking it to Breath of the Wild.
linking.
Ha.
I'll never not laugh. Like so much effort into title screen music that you never hear.
right?
Here we go. This is now you would be on the map by now.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's all quiet and lush again because you've won now, right?
Yeah.
And all of this is kind of melancholic post-campaign stuff.
Yeah.
Where there's still a little bit of plot to do, probably like, what, 6 hours to unlock Terrico after you win? I don't know, longer than I want to admit. And there's one cool reference in the B section, though. I'm going to let this play out just a moment longer. I love hearing the double read as like this soft sound.
And the piccolo.
Yes.
Yeah, Patrick is correct, by the way. I don't like admitting it, but he's right.
Carol is whispering.
But there's 3 menus. They're like, which one do you like best?
Stick this music on the menu. Yep.
Yep.
Because the composer's looking like they're gonna jump in front of a bus. Oh.
Oh.
Doo-wop Mad World, I can't.
What? No.
Let's go to cutscenes.
I can hear it. That's the thing, is I can hear it in my head.
I can't. Doo-wop Mad World? No.
Oh my gosh, there's so
totally.
many cutscenes. Hold on.
Like we're talking about, like, straight up Depeche Mode or whatever it was, right?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, not the Donnie Darko version. Tears for Fears, that's right.
Tears for Fears, that's what I meant, sorry.
80s band.
I knew that, it's just that with this other music playing, it was hard to...
Alright, so very
Doo-wop
quickly
Tears
here,
for Fears.
we have, at the end of chapter 5 is where the Calamity starts happening, and they, again, reappropriate a cutscene from Breath of the Wild where the Guardians get possessed by Ganon in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see that plus some with the extra characters here. Extra characters being a younger version of Robbie the Engineer, and a differently aged... It's technically an older version of Purah, because she is, like, magically made into a child in Breath of the Wild through scientific experimentation. But she's Impa's younger sister and looks and acts age-appropriate as her younger sister in this game. So if Impa is early 20s now, Purah is, like, late teens, I guess. I'm mad she's not playable. I think both of these two are going to be DLC in a month or two for Zelda 35. But the Calamity starts to happen, and the game can't end here, right? We can't just, like, lock Link away for 100 years. That makes for a lame game. But we kind of think, well, something's got to give, right? That's the plot. Link fails, and he gets locked away for 100 years, woken up, and then Breath of the Wild happens. What is going to happen to change that? And what happens is this cutscene occurs. Where the champions are now in the Divine Beasts, fighting the versions of Ganon that canonically kill them in Breath of the Wild.
Wait, monster!
This is how it
Sorry about that
ends.
vibrating. I left my controller on the table. And I think the music that's playing right now is a variation of the Ganon fight music from Breath of the Wild, but I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, I need to revisit Breath of the Wild soundtrack.
But right when it fades to white,
No! I will not allow you to take her again!
Hello. Winning
Ding.
smile. I love all of their taglines.
They definitely
Go through
knew.
them.
They knew their audience.
My power. Who are you?
Even in the rules.
Don't worry about that. I'm here to help.
I love this anxiety disorder character.
Yunobo.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's just like, I'm so sorry when he kills things.
I love that his power is to eat and snack compulsively.
Yes, he just eats, like, that's his weapon, is a roast.
Yeah,
A rock
he
roast.
fights with a rock roast and he eats it to power up. That's the best, yes. But in any case, there's a problem at this point. And the problem is that here, we can watch the equivalent cutscene as well for Urbosa and Rivali's side. Now we've got the Breath of the Wild champions from the end of Breath of the Wild. They know they win against Ganon, who have traveled back in time. At that point, everything has to resolve differently, by definition.
I'm in trouble.
Rivali is still such an asshole, and I'm mad that he's a really good character.
I don't actually really play as Rivali that much. I do like that he can fly. That is satisfying.
That makes him immune to like 2/3 of all attacks.
I am mad when Mobbles can just like pull him out of the sky though. Tiba's fun. Tiba has this attack where he just like flaps his wings on top of your head. On top of like a Mobble's head or something, and that hurts a lot.
Lady Urbosa.
Yeah. Riju has Patricia, the game's secret
Patricia!
best character, the best sand seal.
Sand seal.
The best.
Wow.
I love her so
Let us
much.
focus on winning this fight.
She just goes on rampages.
Patricia the Seal?
The best sand seal.
The best sand seal.
Yeah, and it's true, she is.
It's like, okay, I don't even know what I was gonna say. The best sand seal. Out of how many sand seals?
There's a lot of sand seals. The whole
And
thing.
objectively, she's the best.
Yes.
Yeah.
But now, the real problem, though, is that the champions who canonically should die, Urbosa, Mipha, Rivali, and Daruk, are objectively cooler, I think, than Yunobo, Tiba, Riju, and Sidon.
Yeah.
Like, we are more invested. If you play only Breath of the Wild, you become a lot more invested in who Urbosa was than who Riju is.
Yeah.
Which is this weird thing because, of course, one of them is going to be alive for the sequel and the other one is not. That's true of every pairing where the past champion is much more developed as a character than the present one. The only potential exception to that is Sidon and Mipha, who are just both pretty well-developed characters. But this left Nintendo at the end of Breath of the Wild with this big problem, because if the cool characters are all dead, that means it's difficult to have a sequel where we want to see lots more characters. And so we have this prologue game to fix that, because by definition they're alive in the prologue, and the time travel allows them to survive it moving forward. So that at the end, everybody can live, right? And,
It's kind of like a comic book writing its way out of killing a character.
it is, yeah. and otherwise the writing is pretty lazy, right? Like, you can see this wizard character whose name is totally not Agnahim from Zelda 3. He's Astor instead.
He's so random.
Yeah. I do like, though, that there's a couple times, and I'll play the end cutscene here. Wop, wop, wop. Load, load, load.
I love this like pseudo Greek kind of Mayan.
Mm-hmm.
Just talking out of my ass when I refer to that, but
Well,
the visual.
It's from Breath of the Wild as well, right? Except because
Yep.
the 4 divine beasts would
and
be on
earlier
the screen.
games too, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and now you have this long list of champions that you can play as, which is really cool. The comparison to Smash Brothers is apt, by the way. Like, yes, some of these characters clearly should not be playable in terms of the plot of this. Like this monk, who's the shrine giver in Breath of the Wild, or the Great Fairies.
Oh my god, the Great Fairies as characters.
Yeah, you play as all 4 of them at
Insane.
once.
Although their attacks are all really funny, so it's like amusing to play as them, but also. My emotions. Sorry.
I love that when it's dying,
So
it goes out of
cute.
tune.
That's so cute.
If I put this one here. It's done.
Interesting. So does it grow up to be big and strong, like a guardian? Like, how does baby guardian become giant guardian?
It never does, right?
Oh, okay.
It's always
Okay.
baby guardian size.
Then I'm okay with that.
Mother?
Yeah, BB-8, definitely a little clone.
Definitely some of those vibes get passed on to Terrico, for sure.
You're not going to leave me too, right, Terrico?
Jeez. Hitting you right in the feels.
Please don't take it away!
The return of the Calamity has been foretold. As the Princess of Hyrule, your sole focus must be on your training. A toy such as this is merely a distraction.
So there's a couple cutscenes, and this is one of them, where, like, you're left to wonder, if the king wasn't such an
sorry.
asshat father, would the Calamity have occurred?
God.
Terrico.
I do like how this game really foregrounds her role as a scholar who's like has to do a lot of research.
You're right, she does, and
She's
she studies stuff and is smart. Like,
She's like, I can't fight really, but I can like knowledge my way out of every battle. And before you get the bow.
right.
Kind of fun.
Of Hyrule.
And, like, 2 missions before this, she gets really pissed off and then unlocks the bow.
Slain
Yeah, I love it.
for our future. This is where you fall.
There are two really cool 4-note motives for this game that I think are going to be sticking around the Zelda franchise as long as we're in the Breath of the Wild world space for some time. One of them is the opening, the da-da-da-da. Right? It's so concise and memorable and easy to sing that I think it's going to continue to be a part of things. The other one is the dun 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 dun. Right?
Oh. Yeah.
But here, as the ending occurs, the champions go back to their, like the future champions go back to their future time, and we're left in the past with the older set of champions. And I don't know what we're going to do for Breath of the Wild 2, whether we move forward in the past successful against Ganon, or we move forward in the future successful against Ganon, or we have some weird, creepy Majora's Mask vibe style moment that forces us to reconcile the two timelines. Which would kind of be my preference, honestly. But...
Pretty. No, don't blow on the cartridge. It's terrible for them. Even though we all did it.
We all did it.
But now I feel like, gotta spread the word. Hear how that's the original Zelda theme? Da 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 da.
Which does come in some battle themes here too.
We are Zelda-ing.
Well then,
Patricia!
seems the time has come.
That little bow is everything.
It
Well,
was an
she's the
honor
best
to be
seal. She has to be pretty.
That's right.
I know you'll lead our people well. Riju.
Thanks for everything, Inobo. We didn't get much time together, but I'll always cherish it.
I will too! It was so much fun. You're the best, Daruk.
Feelings.
This has been enlightening. I even got to see.
I love how
the face
Tiva
behind
is
the
like,
champion.
wow, you really were such an asshole.
Yes, I know.
But we'll meet again.
Turns out the rumors were true.
You're my beloved sister, and our hearts will never be apart.
Design-wise, I really like that Mifa's
I will never
earrings or
forget
head
those miracles.
uh,
How all of you fought
stuff
by my side.
is the Zora Sapphire from Ocarina of Time.
Ah.
Our friendship always. And now, as you return to your future, may the light shine upon you for all time.
Alright. Enough cutscene watching here. Let's get into a little more gameplay.
Yeah.
Sure, I can do this. All right.
I
Mifa
wish to
goes
keep
there.
everyone safe.
We'll do
All right,
Urbosa and
why not?
Sidon. as well,
Together
I
for
suppose.
all of Hyrule.
Your prince won't let you down.
What a reliable brother you are.
They knew, by the way, that Sidon was going to be like the super cool character. He dual wields the tridents because he has Mifa's from the future and his own.
Oh,
That's
I
fun.
realized. He
Yeah.
also rides a dolphin made of water.
Yes, he does.
I mean,
It's just fun.
And his special move is to smile on command, which powers up his abilities.
Of course.
wow, you're kidding. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
Again, they knew. They knew he was popular.
Yes, they did.
Winning smile is his tagline. I think Link is silent.
Do we get to play as
What
Patricia?
is it?
Do we get to find out why she's the best girl?
I
Riju
will
and
play as
Patricia are a
Patricia
team
all the time.
set of characters,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you technically
If
play
you
as
press the
Riju,
button,
but it's
you go
Patricia
away.
pulling her around everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and I'd
That's my
argue
favorite.
Rampage mechanic is basically all Patricia.
Yeah.
Because it says, you can't really control her.
Pretty good.
I feel like Patricia ought to be like the very best cosplay. I just
Oh my
want
gosh.
to be the best seal. Like, could you make up like a Patricia Snuggie,
Yeah.
That would be so
Oh
good.
man, that'd be so fun.
like a hoodie?
Yeah.
That's what I want. A big Patricia like what's one of those big like all the sweatshirts that are all the rage these days? I want one of them.
I love this theme.
Be still.
See, that musical change is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
And now went back to the original.
You won't. Stay back.
Right, and when I landed that blow to stun it, it switched again.
Yeah.
While I'm tooling around Link here, I can go there.
Oh, you nicely paused it on the upper hand music.
I did, yeah, we'll give it just a second. Sidon is running away from the fight like a loser. Alright, we'll fix that in a minute. Urbosa needs to go fight that electric line out. Alright, let's go.
We're the best seals around.
Be still.
to fight with Mipha. She's slower than the other characters, really.
So close! Come on!
Right?
Get it! Get it!
Alright, it's done now.
I cannot go.
Yes!
You were there. Please. I'll freeze you out.
So every time you switch between a character, the prior character yells their character's name, but of course if you're Link, he just goes, "Whoa!" and other silent characters too, like Ganon just goes, Terra is just "Woo!" But yeah.
Urbosa has this cool thing where she can make a move repeat itself infinitely, like that, as long as she has meter.
Yeah. I love her.
Oh, her ice attack is a little slow though.
Yeah, so each character has the shield state stuff that they can use, but each has like a different way of using it, slightly different. Like Impa can ride when she does the Cryonis. She can ride around on the ice block.
Right?
And in fact, so when you make it, it comes with a little pillow on top, a little butt pillow, and then you can make her jump on and ride around and kill everybody on the ice block. But some people just make the big ice as a block, which is usually what it's used for. But I like that because it brings in aspects of like the Breath of the Wild using characters and also like environment aspects when you're fighting, and not just like sheer points and weapon stuff. Like once I realized that you can just freeze anyone if you had cryonic water, then so many enemies became so much easier.
Right.
As long as you know how to like get them to use the weapons and stuff, like that's still a part of the game. Like, that's been so magical. Wild was being able to use the aspect in
I'm not doing very well though.
Yeah, definitely.
Well.
Especially in Japanese style game from like 2005.
Yeah, the solo violin thing is like, I don't know, such an obvious like heightened emotion.
Right.
Sort of
Well,
keeps the energy up.
It's the big epic score too. It's just
Right.
that soaring.
Here we go, the cool
Texture.
animation here. She jumps up. There we go.
Yeah, but I guess there's also something like particularly Japanese about the way it's scored, and maybe Andrew has more insight into this, but like it feels like not a Western RPG style.
I would agree with that.
Although this background music feels like it could be Western. Oh yeah, so Sidon is like the baseball version of the
bombs.
Like some people just throw bombs. Some people throw a bunch of bombs. And then Sidon you have to time it so that you hit the so that the bombs are pitched to you and you actually hit them, you can actually miss too, which is kind of annoying.
In fact, I did miss on the first one there.
I'm like not that good at Sidon's baseball mechanics.
There's a surprising number of timing-based challenges in games that I can't do. And it feels like I should be able to.
Damn it.
Or like when people expect me to be amazing at like Rock Band or, you know, stuff like that.
Right.
And I'm just like...
so many ways. Besides...
I'm not terrible at them.
Yeah.
But...
You'll notice the timer does not tick during cinematic moves, which makes them very important for events like this.
Yeah, which I'm very thankful for as well.
Okay, so
I won't stand for it. I must not fail. Be gone. Fantastic.
Link is my super overpowered character, so we're just gonna kind of do some running with him.
I love shield surfing into monsters and killing them immediately. Just so good.
Good feeling.
Agreed. Two Malice Lionels at once is not normally a good idea.
Ugh. Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
What is that noise? Is that the vibe?
yeah.
That...
I don't know
Go
what
on.
that is.
That was weird.
It sounded like a vibrating controller.
Yeah, weird clipping.
Oh, all these enemies here got to go. I'm gonna die.
Oh my god, you're dying.
Yeah, I'm gonna die to the stupid little enemies there. I didn't realize how many of them there were. Holy cow.
I won't falter.
Take two on that. Wait. This road. That's the one thing that's hard about this game sometimes, is figuring out which way you need to be going.
Yes, when it's time limited and you just get lost even though you have a map, it feels so stupid.
Yes, agreed entirely.
The frame rate's so slow that you can't even like look at the screen to find where your directions are.
get all these annoying, like, water shooty guys, though.
Yeah, they can get effed.
Yeah. Alright, now we can do it. This guy especially, who's got to die. Super through that, and then that should be enough little things done.
I've never seen Kung Fu Panda.
Me neither.
Really? It's good.
Actually, me neither.
That's Jack Black, right?
It is.
Yeah.
There's a lot of children's media I've never seen, but I
That's
imagine
all
I
gonna
will.
be changing now.
Yeah.
I've still managed to escape Frozen. I don't know how.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've seen it once, and it was the night before the wedding. The flower girl put it on. And she was like, "Have you ever seen this?" And I was like, "No." And she's like, "Oh, you're in for a treat."
That's kind of adorable,
And then,
though.
because like we were doing other stuff, we kind of had a pizza party with like folks that were in the wedding party the night before. If I had to get up and like do something else, when I came back, she like filled me in on what I'd missed.
That's adorable.
It was pretty great.
Oh. Enough little tiny things. Ugh. I don't know if I can do it. That's
I guess she was also really excited when I was pregnant, but she didn't see me the entire time because quarantine, you know.
Oh, right.
But so that meant she would forget, and then her mom would mention it to her, and she said every time it was like telling her for the first time, she'd get really excited and clap. Be like, "Oh my gosh, there's gonna be a baby." It'll be nice when everybody is vaccinated and some folks can actually meet.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to like travel and see people. Alright, Julian, are there any other tracks that you really want to cover here? Because I'm about out of what I really wanted to say about this.
What am I thinking about? Well, I definitely
I
like.
do love that.
That was pretty good. I mean, I really like just generally musically the Rivali and the Rita music. We don't have to do those levels. I see your Blood Moonin' over there.
Oh, yeah.
Just go into the jukebox. Oh, and the like fun level, like the treasure hunt music. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? I forget what it's called. It's in the jukebox too.
Let's go to that.
It's super fun. Like, I just love those tracks.
This one here, I think. Right, Rivali's theme.
Like, good stuff.
That's fun.
It sounds almost like a Touhou game to me.
There we go. There's Rivali's theme.
Yep. There's like a hint of a Miyazaki score to this one. The accordion here helps. And Cass, remember.
Yes.
Who is tragically not playable in this game. What?
DLC.
I'd pay for Cass.
Would.
Only if like, I don't know, they have some kind of like musical mechanic.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's like a fighting game, you know, where you have to have like certain input, but then it's different songs.
I'm down for that. Worth a quick note that ya da 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 is from the town in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. It's such a grand remix of like all these themes. Like this is too good.
This one sounds like a Smash Brothers stage more than the others to me, though.
It does.
Yeah. Kind of like going down. I do like the Yiga stuff too. I forgot about Yiga stuff.
Yeah, here we'll jump.
Oh. Which also draws from the Breath of the Wild Yiga theme.
Right, because there's a specific Yiga fight track.
Yeah.
In Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's
with that piano
right there.
Yeah.
Yep. It's real sped up here though, because like this is fight music, and that was sneaking around the fort.
Creepy music. Yeah.
Right, and this is like you're fighting 1,000 ninjas at once.
Yeah, so you still have this, like you go into the Yiga hideout still in this game as well. And it's like the same thing, but you're instead of sneaking around, you're just like cutting through, getting bananas.
Yep.
Like, awesome.
Yeah, I loved that. It was a very annoying part because I would get so far and then I would get spotted, so I had to do it so many times. But it was very rewarding.
It was very.
One of the most satisfying revelations to me in Breath of the Wild was that stealth is optional in that sequence. As long as you can kill those guys without ever getting hit a single time, you don't have to be stealthy, and if you kill them, you get their massive one-hit kill sword for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's hard though.
I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Lost Woods is good because it adds some. It's like the original Breath of the Wild, but it adds like a guitar and something else. I forget. Depending on.
I hated this theme in Breath of the Wild. I think because I found the Lost Woods frustrating.
Oh, I thought the music was cool.
Music is cool, but I associate it with being really annoyed by getting into the Lost Woods.
The guitar here is like the opening to an anime is going to explode soon.
I think, and then when you get closer to enemies, the winds come in, like double reeds and stuff.
It does feel that like in 2 measures from now, we're going to have this electric guitar explosion right at that moment.
Yeah. Karen, what are you making?
I am working on an Afghan.
Fun.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Keeps my hands busy while I'm listening to the music and chatting with you all.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty solid.
I never learned how to crochet or knit.
I really, really wanted to take up knitting this winter, but I feel like, once again, my ideal to-do list for winter break is probably like a year's worth of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I will learn how to knit, and I will, I don't know, do all the things.
Right.
Nope.
Keep going down, Ryan.
Oh wait, this is the one I wanted.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted it because it's so outside of the norm for the rest of the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's like a hint of chiptune in there.
Yeah. Is the chiptune the malice?
Yeah. This
is like Guardian Ganon, basically.
Yeah.
It's true. So that's where you get. I forgot that Harbinger Ganon was the mechanical Ganon.
Right, and then the big scary one that's like Ganondorf form, except really large, is Calamity Ganon.
Yeah. Ganon!
You never have to square off against, like, the demon Ganon from the end of Breath of the Wild, which I was kind of looking forward to having the overpowered characters and having to fight that. But it doesn't work that way, sadly.
Needs 100 years.
Right. This fight does take place in the same sanctum of Hyrule Castle, though. Kind of like... that's the Fight Ganon room, I guess.
pretty intense.
The first time I did this, I thought the fight was extremely difficult and I was playing out of my mind. And then when I had to do it again to unlock Ganon on the timer, it went super easy. I must have just leveled a lot in the interim.
Romp across the battlefield. This is my favorite track.
Romp.
Really?
Yep.
This is the Has to fight theme, Julianne.
Well, it's
But
perfect.
It's also like the treasure hunt theme. Listen to it. It has a really cool texture.
Or I like
It's like-
that.
It's
I
like
love how out of
Straussy.
tune that is.
Yes.
It's very fitting for him. He's
Like
a dancer,
Candy.
not a musician. This is the cutest. I agree with you. It's great.
It gets like crazy too.
It really captures the spirit of the Lost Woods from Ocarina of Time, rather than the Lost Woods from Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so cute.
It's
Oh my
like
gosh, I
a
love
really
it.
weird arrangement of Sleigh Ride.
Yes, exactly.
I know it's got Leroy Anderson vibes and like Leonard Bernstein. Yes,
It
middle
totally
school
does.
punk, band punk.
Oh, it's so cute.
And the loot point is here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop, 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 pop. Pop, pop, pop.
I love the minor Zelda's lullaby for Astor.
Yeah.
So creepy.
Does this like blow up into the big mushroom? Or it probably will, yeah. I don't even remember this.
Yeah, this is when you
Very
fight
angular.
Astor.
I think it's because I'm
Very.
too busy trying to fight his ass.
Yep,
He's annoying.
he is.
It's like, ouch, curse you, ouch, ouch.
And then it loops from there.
Yeah, it's got like a music box thing.
Yeah, maybe that whole count.
Is this the track that does it? Hold on a second.
Every game has a track called Determination.
Right, this isn't the one I was
It's
thinking
literally
of, though.
every video game.
What if you just did like a lightning talk for Nafgum, but it was just a supercut of every
Determination.
one of those things.
Yes.
Similarly-
That's what I'm gonna propose.
Hurry.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
No, not that one either. I'm not going to come up with which one it is. That's too bad. There's one that reuses the Hyrule Castle motive from Breath of the Wild, where it like invokes the Ballad of the Windfish ever so briefly, but it's at a faster tempo. And I think here they're just trying to recall Hyrule Castle. My big argument doesn't work, which is that Hyrule Castle in Breath of the Wild invokes the Ballad of the Windfish because Zelda is waking from her dream. Right, as you're scaling the castle walls. And that's the music that the Zelda series has access to that is waking from dreams.
Right.
Oh.
No, none of that sappy stuff.
You get that high, Obo. Pinch it out. Ew.
Pinch it out.
Never mind.
And wait, really quickly.
You know, we
so
had just
let me
gotten
load up
everybody
the
off
original
poop in
one.
the chat.
I'm
Julia.
afraid I'm sorry.
I hope I still have it here. I haven't played it in ages. Let's see.
This.
Yes, I do. Here we go. I'm loading the original Hyrule Warriors just to demonstrate how much more effort the sequel has than this one does. Come on. Controller, don't fail me now.
Which one are you using?
Ugly Joy-Cons. I'm using my 8-bit do controller.
Are you using the little one?
No, because I need twin sticks, so I'm using this one here. The Game Boy one.
So I should show everybody Ryan's gift to all of us.
Yeah. So cute.
It's so cute. Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition.
Yep, comes with all the DLC. There's a made-up plot with a very extra character. Here, we'll play my normal Zelda one here. This is Zelda 1 in map form, you can see.
Aww.
Which I do like in some ways better than this. Like... This is also cool, right? Hold on a second, let's see. We'll go here. Sounds great. I think we actually just have to go right here, though, for our fighting. Defeat all enemies. Oh, am I character limited? I don't want to be character limited. Okay. Begin battle here,
Gosh,
just as
that's
one
cute.
example. So here's all of my choices. I've got Link. This is like Twilight Princess Badass Impa, right? This is like 5 years ago, so before Breath of the Wild. Sheik, and Midna, and Zant. Fi from Skyward Sword, right? There's no real plot, any reason to include all of these.
Yeah.
But all of the designs are very much like over-the-top character designs. You can tell they just need to sell copies of people, right? Yeah, Sia is the new invented villain for the game. And it's like, why does this occur?
It's quite a mask on her.
She almost has a plague mask.
Right?
Yeah.
Got his
Yep, and the game made some
other
waves
things.
when the 3DS and Switch versions released, because Linkle is now a character.
Linkle. Oh, I remember. Oh, yeah.
Which is Girl Link.
Like,
wow.
Which is really...
No thanks.
In some ways it feels really pandering to me, because Link is very often drawn fairly androgynously anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like making Zelda useful, and not just like a super busty princess like she is here, is better. Like, Age of Calamity does a much better job of like empowering female characters than this game does. But we'll pick Young Link for fun.
What is that, like, saucy
I was gonna say his
backward
pose.
glance?
Speaking of like
Weird.
gendered.
Oh, for Young Link?
Yeah.
I'm expecting it to be like the copper tone baby, like somebody's gonna come along and like bite his butt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
Yes.
I feel that.
Like, what? Got me.
Girahim is like over-the-top dramatic pose as well.
And then
Wow.
I don't know, that's kind of my mood right there for all of 2020 and 2021. I'm just like, why?
Here, we'll just be Zelda. We'll jump into the game here. But there's not nearly as much thought put into why the music works in the ways that it does, even though the gameplay is kind of the same.
Ooh, are we in the club?
Right, we are kind of in the club now.
This is weird.
So this was the first game, and like there's a clear improvement. I need to move my light to play it. Hold on.
What is this? Almost disco, but it's got this weird, creepy backdrop.
I'm already almost dead.
What is this track?
No, the music is terrible in the original game, which is part of why I loaded it, because Breath of the Wild Age of Calamity is such an improvement over this. In every way except frame rate, which is much better here, admittedly.
Legend of Zelda. That is pretty good.
This is Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, this game was weirdly not great, and somehow the sequel is so good. And I don't know what the difference is, except I can tell you that Nintendo had close supervisory roles over this one, and it did not over the original. So I suspect that has something to do with the level of polish that the sequel has. And
Nintendo was like, never again. You are not making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, you can if you really like this franchise. There is, yeah. If you really like this style of gameplay, they have Fire Emblem Warriors and Dragon Quest Warriors, and like it's all Dynasty Warriors crossover games, right?
Yeah. Which are not my cup of tea, but Joe plays some of them.
I never played any of those games. It's like this Age of Calamity is the first kind of style of this game I've ever played, and so I might be interested in.
What's funny is I bought Hyrule Warriors thinking that like the 1 versus 1000 style gameplay would help Oliver feel empowered, because it is pretty easy to just mash sword over and over, right?
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize that like most of the characters were like hyper anime busty levels of drawing in this version of the game when I bought it. Because look at the box, like you see Link and
Sexy
you see
Plague
Tetra
Doctor.
and you see like Zelda, right? It's not that bad. And then like the main villain is like terrible. Age of Calamity is better in every regard. There's been a number of games on Switch, though, that I have bought thinking, man, this is going to be so awesome, and then have been, for weird reasons, difficult for me to play. Right? Like, Fire Emblem. This is the best Fire Emblem game ever made. As a tactics RPG, it's to die for fantastic. But because the main plot involves hitting on your students and you play as the professor, I'm like,
yeah, not okay with that.
Yeah, that's tough.
Right?
My goodness.
JRPG problems, I guess.
Yes.
Have you gotten Horus yet? You should get Horus.
I have it on PC.
It's super cute. Okay.
In any case, that is Age of Calamity with a slight look at what it came from. I don't know what we're doing next week yet, assuming, Society is still Society next week.
Hey,
oh, gosh.
We need it to be. Got a kid to raise now.
Just planned it by ear over here.
That's right.
We'll figure it out. We definitely have ideas.
We've been
we do have a ton of stuff
over a
on the
long
back
list.
burner. Yeah. So we'll figure out something at some point. We can never cover this on stream because it's too long, and we've slowly been moving away from like hyper long games after FF7 last summer.
It kind of killed us.
Right.
Still need a break.
This game is 3 times as long as that.
Good Lord.
Dragon Quest 11.
Is that 11?
Oh yeah, because you have to go play all the other games, right?
Yes. It's so big. But with my last 10 minutes, because we're never going to cover it on stream, because like I don't want to do a 100-hour game on this stream, right? That's a year.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yarp.
Or that's a lot of playing between actual streams.
Yes, true.
It's a lot, though.
Yeah, it'd be a ton. I want to demo the one cool thing about this as a fun bonus, and then we'll move on to other things next week. First of all, the Switch version, and now the version on Steam as well. Will Gibbons thought I was crazy when I said this is my favorite Dragon Quest game, because he hated the music. And it was all synthesized originally. And for the special edition, they got the Tokyo Philharmonic to remaster every track.
Well, that will help.
Oh, there we go.
And it's better now. That's what we'll say.
Nice.
Puppy! Can you pet the dog?
You can pet the dog.
The
Yes,
trumpet.
legit.
That's important.
I love the ridiculous piccolo solo now. It's like the Sousa March of video games.
It's totally Sousa.
Yeah, this is very extra.
Yeah, get those choppers.
Right, we don't need to hear the repeat though. I mean, we all know what that track sounds like. So hold on.
That's amazing. Oh, I love the menu. That's great.
Everything about this is fantastic.
I would buy it just for the soundtrack. Holy crap.
So all of the music is remastered.
Every track the Tokyo Metro Symphony played,
Nice.
like all 120 whatever, every track is redone like this.
So
It's
lush.
a dream
Oh.
now.
Octagonia.
So if anybody needs a long JRPG to play through, like by the time you're 60, this is the one you get.
This is lovely.
Hyrule.
Yeah, we'll briefly step outside here to look at what this looks like. This is the resort town. And again, that string solo is to die for now. If you really loved Dragon Quest VIII, you can switch. Right now I look like the protagonist from 8 instead.
I haven't. There's so many Dragon Quests I haven't played.
Yeah, me too.
I played all the early ones.
What's really
And
impressive about this, though, and I'm not going to go to the world map, but let's run back to the church really quick. The thing that sold me on this game, for the Switch specifically, is after a certain point in the game, you get the opportunity to do this whenever you want to. Let's go to the church.
So beautiful.
You would like
Yeah, I'd
your
be really
customers
curious to hear.
who guard and guide us change the way in which you see the world.
That's cute.
I can turn on the original soundtrack on command here, so Alright. Looks like I am going to end up jumping cities to do this, because you have to restart at the beginning of every chapter to switch display modes. But the entire 100-hour game is rendered as if it was Dragon Quest VI 2 on the Super Nintendo.
Aww.
And the whole game is playable this way. Every dungeon is redesigned to work in both dimensions. This is like the old school JRPG gamer's dream game.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
While I've, yeah. Here we go. Here's the synthesized soundtrack that Will Gibbons was unsatisfied with.
I don't mind that.
The percussion's not very good.
Yeah.
It doesn't bug me though. We can just say Will's wrong.
Well, I think because you're playing on this version, it suits the graphics.
Just to troll him to make him come to our stream.
Right? Here's the world map, which has random encounters in 2D mode, but monsters just live on the map in 3D mode, so you can also choose which gameplay style you want based on which graphic mode you choose. Which is, again, very cool. Let's switch back.
Has anyone done like a Christmas mix of this particular track for like OC Remix?
Yeah.
It already kind of sounds.
It does a little bit.
Just turn those into sleigh bells instead of like tambourine. Dude, where? In the comfort of my living room.
Alright. Is this where I need to be here? I've never actually done it in 2D mode, which is weird. This is near where I need to be.
I know this theme.
Hold on a second. I think this is actually where I need to go.
That is a remix of Japan, for anyone who's keeping score.
What's that?
Which
Nope.
is in what? Which one originally? 5? Earlier? 3?
Here it
Might be
is.
in 3.
Maybe.
I think it's in 3. I write about this in my chapter, I should know.
So, in 2D mode, and only in 2D mode, you can access this town.
It's so pretty.
And this town has this incredibly cool area. This is the bonus content they added to the special edition of the game. You'll notice there are 10 books here. Each book is Dragon Quests 1 through 10, all visitable.
Wow.
With this party of characters, and these guys travel through time and dimensions to make all the backstories of the NPCs happen in every Dragon Quest game. Which is this incredibly ambitious idea, but it works
I agree with
somehow.
you, Julianne, that it's a musically
It's a
overwhelming
lot.
game.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. And you have original
Ooh.
chiptune remixes of all the original games. So this is Dragon Quest VIII in chiptune now.
There's a
Very
good
cute.
So at some point, I'm gonna put together something to say about this soundtrack, but I have to get through the whole game first. It's just overwhelmingly big to to do so.
Yeah. Well, and then if you're going to compare them, the original MIDI as well.
Right. I love the idea, though, that this style of gameplay
Frizzle.
still exists right
Cattle
alongside the full 3D mode.
Hippie's rich. Yeah, you notice I didn't go to an immediate the original is better. I liked the orchestration. I thought the orchestration was beautifully played. But nor did I dislike when Ryan. I was expecting bad when Ryan played the original, and I was like, no, this is fine.
Yeah.
Totally good.
Usually what I do is I use the orchestrated music with the 3D mode and the original release music with the 2D mode, and I don't mind it at all. In any case, I wanted to quickly demo what would take us 100 hours to get through otherwise. Just conceptually, the idea that the JRPG exists in 2D and 3D simultaneously is incredible.
Yeah. Wow.
And I can't imagine like how much work that is.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. We'll be back with something that will take us only 2 hours next week, rather than a 100-hour magnum opus project that will never actually get done.
Sounds good.
Who knows?
But-
If anybody has any suggestions, tweet them at us.
Yes,
etc.
we need to, and this is on me for not doing it over the break, we need to reach out to Jeff and see if he wants to come and do Time Spinner sometime in January or February.
Yeah, because that was
Sure.
the thing that we never did that we were going to do.
It is.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I really want to do in the near term is in February, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake comes out.
Yeah.
And I am absolutely in love with that original game.
Yeah, me too.
And there's a whole lot to say on it. And I'm hoping that the
Yes.
remixed soundtrack is equally interesting, but I guess we'll find out.
I'm totally down for that.
Sounds good. All right.
Sounds
Awesome.
fun.
Good night for now, everybody. Thanks for coming
right.
and hanging out with us for a couple hours, and we'll see folks next week.
Yay.
Have a good night.
Good night, folks.